Getting you ready to head back to school. For this Superintendent Spotlight, I sat down with Lee County Schools Superintendent Chris Dossenbach to get his thoughts on the upcoming school year and top priorities. How exciting was that for you?
It was a great day. We were proud to welcome about 9,400 students back to the district. And, like I said, other than some rain in the morning and your typical delays on the first day of school, it was a great day. We were excited. My team and I were able to visit all of our schools throughout the day, and every school was excited and ready to welcome students. Students were both excited and nervous. So all in all, it was a great day.
Talk with me about your goals as superintendent for this upcoming school year.
Sure. So we actually launched a new strategic plan this year that we've sort of themed Thrive and Lead. And we have four overarching goals. I mean, obviously, our first goal, first and foremost, is safety and keeping students safe. Beyond that, we want to improve academic performance. We also want to be able to retain and hire high quality teachers. As you know, there is a teacher shortage, not just in North Carolina, but across the country. So being able to retain the ones that we have and then bring in new talent is very important to us. But one of the key components of a strategic plan beyond the obvious teaching and learning are things that we want to instill in our kids that I think sometimes get forgotten in education, like resilience and grit. I think it's important that we teach kids how to struggle and do hard things because that's what makes you stronger. That's what makes you grow. We do want to hold their hands through that, but there is there is something to be said about productive struggle, and unless we allow that to happen and take place, I don't know that students truly grow. So that's a big part of our strategic plan that will carry us for the next 5 years.
What was your reaction for when you first heard that the money was going to be released, and how do you think it's going to help school districts such as yours?
We were obviously very excited. We anticipated some of this was likely to come just because of what we were hearing. So we tried the last half of the year to be very conservative with our budget, just in case. We had frozen some positions just to anticipate not receiving that funding. So obviously we were very excited when that funding was released and we were able to unfreeze those positions, and look to hiring those. And we didn't have to make any drastic cuts or changes to our curriculum because it was our most vulnerable population that would be impacted by those. Um, so we were definitely excited about that. We're already planning for next year, not knowing what might happen. But it does mean a lot for our community because a lot of that money went to help for English as a second language students, after school help, beginning teacher support, and all of those groups certainly need all the help that they can get.
I know school districts all around our area are implementing, new cell phone policies or kind of beefing up their old cell phone policies. What are you guys doing for this upcoming school year?
So our school board had actually gotten ahead of the curve on this. And so last year, our cell phone policy was updated and pretty much follows the new law. And so they pretty much can't be seen during any instructional time, which was already the case for us. So it shouldn't be a huge change. Obviously, it's something we're going to continue to have to monitor and be on top of. But I am a believer in that it is a distraction. Um, in the classroom. And so we've got to do all we can to focus on teaching and learning. And I think it goes beyond cell phones. One of the things we've talked about as a district this year is getting kids out from behind a screen. I think that there's a place for technology in schools, and we will certainly still utilize that. But there's nothing that can take the place of a good teacher.
What do you think are the biggest challenges for your school district as we head into this new school year?
So one of our challenges is actually a good problem to have. Our county is growing by leaps and bounds. We have new houses and businesses popping up each and every day. And so being able to accommodate for that, plan ahead, looking for land, looking for building new schools, because that's something that's going to be needed in the next 3 to 5 years and possibly even sooner. So we have some schools that are obviously growing more than others based on where all the businesses and homes are being located. But again, it's a good problem to have. And obviously, another struggle that we always keep our thumb on are vacancies. We were blessed this year to have a lower vacancy than we started the year with 11 teaching vacancies, which is the lowest number we've had in probably 7 to 8 years, which is great. But it's something that you're always keeping an eye on, just because it's a profession that over the years has um, the respect for teachers has declined, unfortunately, and I think that's kept a lot of people from getting in this business. But it's still one of, if not the most rewarding jobs you can have.
Is there any plan in place that you all have right now to be able to retain those teachers?
One of the biggest things is all about relationships and forming that relationships. I'm a firm believer that people don't quit jobs, they quit their bosses. And so if they can feel like money is obviously an issue, and I don't think there's amount of money that would ever be high enough to pay educators or anybody that works in the school system. Um, but you've got to make people feel welcome. You've got to make people feel seen and heard. And that's a big part of our strategic plan, is forming those relationships, giving teachers that voice within their building. Um, the approaches that we take can't be top down. It's got to be from the bottom up, and getting that buy-in. And I know that won't save everybody, but I do believe that the large number of people that we have kept over the years is because they feel like they're a part of a family. And I think that that's something that's unique about a small district like Lee County, and it's something that we hope to keep going.
What is your message to parents and students?
I would just say thank you for trusting us with your students. It's not something that we take lightly. We are excited. Education is the one thing in life that nobody can ever take away from you. So, we take that responsibility seriously. And, our goal is to get students home the same way that they left that morning. And we know that there's a lot of trust put into us, but just excited about a new year. I know that public education is no longer the only game in town. I still believe it's the best option for the majority of students. And we're just excited. And we have put all the things in place to have a wonderful year. We are so excited about that we were able to do, and I think it's a small thing, but it's been huge for our community. This is the second year in a row that we've been able to offer breakfast and lunch to every student at no cost. And the burden that that lifts off of parents, and just that stigma that it takes off of kids not having to worry about forms or being labeled. It opens the door for everybody, and so that's something that we're very excited about, and grateful that we were able to do.
What made you want to get into education?
Oh, I wanted to be a teacher since I was a little boy. My poor sister, we used to play school, and she always had to be the student. I always had to be the teacher. Um, and I never veered from that path. From the time I was small through middle school and high school, if anybody asked me what I wanted to do, I wanted to be a teacher. And I never veered from that. And I certainly didn't see myself in a leadership position, but other people saw things in me. And through the years, positions became available and were offered to me that I felt like I couldn't say no to. And here we are.
What can't you live without? Coffee, tea, or soda?
Oh, I'm a sweet tea drinker. I shouldn't be, but I've never been into coffee, but sweet tea is my thing. It shouldn't be, but it is, unfortunately.
If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. You can't go wrong with pizza. I mean,
True.
it's hard to beat, and it's easy to find. So I think pizza would probably be the go-to. I'm a supreme guy. I like all the things. I think
Uh-huh.
I'll like anything but anchovies.
And what or who is your biggest motivation?
Um, my grandmother has always been somebody that motivated me. She was just, and still is, such a hard worker. Always had such faith and pride in everything that her grandchildren did. Certainly spoiled us more than she probably should have. But that's still a source of inspiration for me, because she's 83 and still in great shape, and has always just been so proud of us, and has put us on a pedestal probably more so than we deserve. And so it's hard not to be inspired by that. And she's proud of me, and that means a lot.
When you're out of the office, do you have any hobbies?
I have two young children, and so I love spending time with them and playing. This work can take you away from home quite a bit, but I promised my wife if I took this job, it would, I would do a good job of compartmentalizing things. That I know things pop up, but I try very hard when I go home to be home. And so I have a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they keep us very busy. So we love to play, love to travel, go to the zoo, and do anything that sort of makes them happy, because between them being in daycare and school during the week, we don't spend a lot of time together. So that's what our weekends consist of, is trying to make up for that and just good quality time together.
And you can find extended back-to-school coverage over on CBS17.com. Brea Hollingsworth, CBS 17 News.